Due to violence against Chinese, the long-term response from the authorities was the introduction of restrictive immigration laws. This was only because the Chinese were racially inferior to Europeans and they were simply not British. Therefore, the Chinese would always be a permanent underclass in Australian society. Chinese, above all, were the ones who disturbed the ideal of a white British nation.
Soon after Australia became a federation, the government of Edmund Barton passed the Immigration Act of 1901, which was drafted by Australia's second Prime Minister, Alfred Deakin. The passage of this bill is considered the commencement of the White Australian policy as the Australian government policy. Subsequent acts further strengthened the policy up to the start of the Second World War. In order to restrict who could migrate to Australia, a dictation test was applied to migrants. This dictation test was of 5 words in length in a language that migrants were unlikely to know, so that those who were thought as undesirable wouldn't enter the country. These policies effectively allowed for British migrants to be preferred over all others through the first 4 decades of the 20th century.
In 1966, the Holt Liberal government effectively dismantled the White Australia policy and increased access to non-European migrants, including refugees fleeing the Vietnam War. After a review of immigration policy in March 1966, Immigration Minister Albert Opperman announced applications for migration will be accepted from well-qualified people. On the basis of their suitability as settlers, their ability to integrate in the community, and their possessions of qualifications positively useful to Australia. At the same time, Harold Holt's government decided to allow foreign non-whites to become permanent residents and citizens after 5 years, the same as for Europeans, and also removed discriminatory provisions in family reunification policies.
Multiculturalism is understood as a social compact that involves power and wealth sharing between different ethnocultural groups. Such compact is usually based on equality of status and opportunity of different ethnocultural groupings. It usually consists of a complex set of agreed national values and goals, normative and structural systems, as well as policy, budgetary, and program responses put in place to manage diversity. Australia has reached this multiculturalism. However, it was a journey from being an insecure, ethnocentric, parochial outpost, glorifying and depending upon Mother England, to being a modern, self-conscious, cosmopolitan, and independent mid-range political and economic power in Asia-Pacific. It was a journey from a society based on racial prejudice and intolerance to a contemporary multicultural Australia embracing diversity. During that time, the Australian egalitarianism and the principle of fair go were extended from applying to British males only to applying to all residents, including women, non-British minorities, people with disabilities, and most recently to gay and lesbians.
It took many years for the Australian culture to accept migration as a natural process of human beings. This country went from being a discriminatory one to a multicultural at its best. Nowadays, our society is experiencing a migration wave. We are facing some problems related to it, and we have to ask ourselves if we want to spend so much time accepting this natural process as Australia did, or if we're going to make things right in the right time. We all in this society share some responsibility in this process, but especially us as interpreters play a crucial role in exchanging intercultural factors that can lead to understanding of the other's point of views.